their types. So, what comes to your mind when you see this picture? What is this?
Dinosaur?
Yes. So, it's dinosaur skeleton, which we have seen in movies, but we haven't seen in real life. So, how can we say that they existed on the millions of years ago? What are the evidence for their existence? All these answers of these questions we'll get at the end. Um, so,
Can
what
we
are
watch Jurassic Park?
what do you wanna watch? Oh, this.
Can we watch Jurassic Park? Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Let's see after this. After learning this. So, what are fossils? Fossil is a remain, a trace, or an imprint of organism that lived a long time ago. They are important as they tell a story about organisms that lived on Earth before us. Um, they help scientists to determine approximately what life first appeared on the planet, what were the what type of animals were there a long time ago, and when animals and plants first lived on land, about organisms that became extinct that are no longer on earth. So fossils are the proof of not only when and where organisms once lived, but also how they lived. So scientists study them and they can get answer for all these questions. Uh, how they are formed. So most of the time, the remains of dead plants and animals they disappear quickly. So when an organism dies, scavengers eat and they scatter the remains of the dead organism, right? And later
Yeah,
on, fungi and bacteria they invade and they cause the remains to rot and disappear, right?
yeah,
So like in this picture, we can see the decay of banana over time. So if you have ever left a banana on on a counter for too long, you will see this process, right? Over time, the banana will break down chemically, and this is how it will look like. So this is because
mm,
of microorganism that act on it and which cause chemical reaction and which completely decay, right? Okay.
yeah. But is it still good to eat?
No, not at all. I know you are
Why?
thinking about eating because it has microorganisms which are bad.
So what? It's okay.
Mm, no, it's not okay
How do you know?
because if microorganism can make a good banana into this, they can make you can think of what can they do inside our body.
It's okay.
Mm, okay. Who studies fossils? So paleontology is the study of fossils, and paleontologists are the scientists who study fossils, and they study fossil to determine various evolutionary factors like relationship among different organisms, or approximate time when life first appeared and when different organisms lived on the earth, and also when organisms became extinct. So some paleontologists they work outside to discover and they then carefully uncover fossils, and other work in lab and analyze and learn about fossils. Okay, so um
Yeah,
yeah, you can see that this is working outside in the field and they are working in lab to study. So this is in
yeah.
field and this is in lab. So can you fill it?
Did you know that um but like animal sea living creatures in Antarctica grow bigger because of the cold?
They expand.
Yeah,
Oh, Do they? Because cold cause like when it is hot, it cause expansion. But because
Yeah,
of
I know,
cold,
but they're very, very big.
oh, okay, I'll study about it. I'll check it.
Let's check together right now.
Okay, yeah, I can check it right now. Can you answer this?
No, thank you.
Yes, please.
Uh, uh, paleontologist.
Paleontologist. Now there are different types of fossils. One of them is imprint fossils. A leaf, feather, teeth, bones, or even the entire body of organism, they can leave an imprint on sediment that later become hardened and rock. So we can say that imprint fossil is the outline of an animal or a plant that has been left behind or inside a rock. So some organism, then there is a cast fossil. They have hollow structure as a part of their bodies, and if the minerals get filled in these hollow structures of the animals as shown to the right, a mollusk shell on their footprints, their footprints and other parts of the organism, it create a cast like this because of the hollow structure. Then frozen fossils are rare and they are only formed in special circumstances. They usually date back to the ice age when an organism gets stuck like in mud or pit or tar or etc, and the temperature drop, so the remain of the organism get trapped in ice and it remain frozen for thousands of years, and frozen remains can allow direct study of the actual soft tissues and sometimes organ that make up the animal's body. So basically, because we know when the temperature drop, decomposition become like the reaction which decompose body, they it becomes really slow, right?
Yeah.
That's why we put our food and everything in fridge, because it like it will not got rotten, right? It will not decompose. But so that's why they are like these organisms uh, are frozen and they are still their tissues and are still maintained. I mean, they are still not decomposed because of the temperature. Fossils in umber.
Mhm.
So umber is formed when the sticky resin of some cone bearing plants harden over time. It usually contains the remains of trapped insect. So the fossils that get encasted in umber probably got there when they came near the fresh seeping sap, and even like eventually they got stuck, and the sap inside the sap they got stuck, and the sap become hardened later and become a fossil. Okay.
Mhm.
Then mineralized fossils. Fossils are changed by minerals. They can be petrified or turned into stone. So minerals replace the original tissue or bone in the animals or wood in the case of plants to create a place of petrified wood or mineralized bone fossils as shown to the left. Now the question is how they are formed. So most are found these fossils are found in sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rocks are formed when several layers of sand, mud or silt they are deposited, they are compacted and then cemented together. When minerals are deposited um, from a solution. So like example can be limestone, sandstone, shale. These are the example of sedimentary rock, and fossils are mostly found in limestone, which is a kind of sedimentary rock. So fossil record acts as evidence to prove that living things have evolved. So sedimentary rocks are formed when several layers of sediments are deposited and because of pressure they are cemented together, okay? and inside it,
Okay.
fossils are trapped like this. Okay,
Okay.
because we learned how they are deposited, right? First weathering,
Yeah.
erosion, and then deposition. These are the different types of sedimentary rock. Usually, fossils are found in this. Um, so, in first one, you can see eroded sediments end up in the water and begin to settle. So, these tiny particles are getting eroded, moving from original place to new, right? So, with time, you can see there is just one layer, right, which is depositing this, right?
Yeah.
But with time, these more layers pile up and they press down the lower layers, right, which is called compaction. There are more layers. You can see one, two, three, and more layers. Um, they further because of deposition, the layers they start getting piling up, and salt crystal glue the layers together. Okay, minerals glue them together, and it make a rock mass, which is called sedimentary rock. Clear?
Clear.
This is how sedimentary rocks are formed. So, like we learned about deposition, this is what is happening, and there are lots of layer. They are cemented together, which make a rock, which is called sedimentary rock. So, whether a dead organism become a fossil or not, it depends upon the extent to which it is protected from the scavenger, as well as agents of physical destruction like waves or currents. Why? Because like one way to protect a dead organism is for sediment to bury the body. Like if a fish dies and it sinks to the bottom of the lake, sediment brought into the lake by stream, it can cover the fish quickly. And because the fish is covered by sediments quickly, so no scavenger or waves can destroy it and tear it apart. So the body part, it could be fossilized and incorporated into sedimentary rock, like limestone. Clear?
Clear.
Yes. So because if like it is telling us that uh, like if it is protected from scavenger and directly covered by sediments, its body will be preserved there, right? It will form fossils, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, however, a quick burial isn't always sufficient to create a fossil. For example, like if an organism has hard parts like bones or a shell, it has a better chance of becoming a fossil. This is because scavengers are less likely to eat hard parts, right? They will eat soft part. And hard
Yeah.
parts they will degrade but at a very slow rate than soft parts do, right?
Yeah.
So most fossils they are mainly made up of hard parts like teeth, bones, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. So let's understand with the help of this diagram. Footprints are left in the mud. You can see the dinosaur collapses and dies, and then flesh is rotten away, like by decomposers and scavengers, right? And only bones are
Yeah.
remaining. Now the water level there you have a water, and it is like the water level rises and sediments buries the bones and footprints. There is a sediment, okay? Then you can see a thick sequence. There are lots of layer of sediments which accumulate over the bones, and with the layers of bones, um, with the layers of sediments, the bones will fossilize, right? And this bed contained the
Yeah.
dinosaur bones. So this bed means the very bottom layer, bedrock. Okay,
Yeah.
and there are lots of layers over it of sediment, and like erosion. Let's suppose because of mining or something, erosion take place. Okay, which expose the bones and footprints. Clear? Did you get it?
Clear.
Very good. So, around 99% of all the fossils that we find are of marine animals like shellfish or shark. This is because they live in the sea, where sand or mud could bury their remains quickly after they died, right? So,
Yeah,
organisms that live on land, they are like less likely to get fossilized because most of them will be eaten and by other animals, right?
yeah,
So, most fossils of land animals that have been found were believed to live closer to water bodies. So, when the water level rise, their remains got buried in clay or silt. Like here, you can see it is close to water, and water level rises, and that's why it get fossilized.
yeah,
Why do we collect fossil? Because they tell us the history of life on Earth. It helps us to understand relationship between organism, tell us when life existed on Earth, right? So, yeah, can you try this? Fossils are usually found
yeah.
in.
Um, rocks.
Sorry?
Sedimentary rocks.
Yes. So, body of an organism is more likely to fossilize if.
Uh, a bee.
It is left on the surface. No, it is buried deeply in the
No,
ground.
A. Not A.
Yes. Okay. So, is it true first one or false?
Most dinosaurs papers in museums are material. Archaeologists are interested in fossils. What is that question?
Is this true or these are the statements? Is it true or false?
True.
And second one?
Uh, Ariana is false.
Yes, good. Okay, can you